Finland is more multicultural, like they are more open, and like it's more open to immigrants compared to Sweden. Because why I said that, because most places that you don't expect to see a black person, you can see a black person there, and it just make me look like, oh, I like Finland because hello guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel today. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you. I thank you for always and always and always and always coming. My name is Bosinola Faith, and I film about Sweden, right? About life in Sweden, about education, and what have you. So in today's video, this is going to be a very short video, and today I'm going to be comparing Sweden with Finland, right? I'm going to compare Sweden with Finland. You know, I've had a friend of mine called me sometimes ago, and she was talking about Finland. Oh, I heard about Finland, is this, is that, is this. So Finland is now where everybody is going. Finland is where everybody wants to go. And I'm like, hey, really? Is Finland is just here? It's just 2 hours away from Sweden, you know? Yeah. So today I'm going to be comparing Sweden to Finland. Just a few weeks ago, I traveled down to Finland. It was my first time. I'm like, whoa. Yeah, okay, now let's get into it. So the first thing, like culture shocks that I noticed about Finland is Finland to Sweden is very short. There's no road network from Sweden to Finland. And Sweden is very close. Sweden and Finland are together, like they share. It's just a sea, that demarcates them from each other. Like there's no road network according to what I heard. Like there's no transport, like public transport, maybe train or bus that will take you directly from Sweden to Finland. You can only go to Finland by air or you go by ferry. So is either two means, by air or by boat, like ferry and all. That's the number one thing. And Finland and Sweden, the distance should not be more than 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes journey. Yeah. So another thing that shocked me about Sweden and Finland is there's 1 hour difference between Finland and Sweden. Like the time is not the same. They are Finland is 1 hour ahead. I think Finland should be 1 hour ahead or behind. I've forgotten, but they are just 1 hour apart from each other. Like they don't use the same time. One person is 1 hour ahead of another. Another thing that I also noticed about Finland is they spend euros. Like euros is their currency. In Sweden, we spend Swedish krona. Like all Nordic, Sweden, Denmark, and Norway spends krona, but their krona is different. In Swedish, we have Swedish krona, Norwegian krona, and the Danish krona or something, I don't know. But yeah, they spend. But for Finland, they spend euros. Now, the most funny thing is when we arrived to Sweden, like when I've been to some other European countries, right? When we arrived to Finland, I noticed that Swedish is one major language for them. Like it's a major language there. Everywhere you see Swedish language, you see everywhere at the airport, everywhere. And I figured out that I think one of their language requirements, like maybe you want to take their citizenship, I'm not sure about this, but I heard that it's either you learn to speak Swedish or you learn to speak Finnish, one of those two. So Swedish is so much incorporated in their culture. Like you see Swedish language everywhere in their, when airports, welcome to airport, they write it in Swedish, in Finnish, and also in English. So it's like it's key inside the train, inside the buses. There's Swedish everywhere, which is good. So that's to tell you that Finland and Sweden are in good close collaboration. Yeah. Another thing that I also noticed about Finland is in Finland, I feel like compared to Sweden, where Sweden is so key on their language, on Swedish, like, oh, they are so key on their language, like they can never trade that language for anything. Like, yes, they speak English, right? The Swedes speak English, but compared to Finland, I feel like Finland speaks English more because you when you go to restaurants, or you go to, yes, you go to restaurant, normal restaurants, you see people speaking English in Finland. Like, you see like normal people, like normal white speaking English. Like, it was just something you hear everywhere. Unlike in Sweden, where it was strange to me. Like, it's not like they don't speak English in their restaurant, but Swedish language is more pronounced. But in Finland, you can always see people speak English. And another thing is, I feel like Finland is more multicultural. Like, they are more open, and like it's more open to immigrants compared to Sweden. Because why I said that, because most places that you don't expect to see a black person, you can see a black person there. And it just make me look like, oh, I like Finland, because it's for people who are if you've traveled to Finland, you will understand me. Like, you can literally see, you can see black people in security checks, which was a big deal for me. Like, just a wow, yes, I like this, because it shows like how open they are. They're open to, as long as you can do the job. That's what I feel. Yes, that's one thing that I also noticed in Finland. Another thing that I noticed in Finland is, when you're in Sweden, you do Swedish fika, where we have, and then the American do coffee breaks, and everything. That Swedish fika thing is not something you get in Finland. When you have like programs in Sweden, they will do Swedish fika, where at least you take snack, you take coffee, you take tea, anything you want to take, juice or anything you want to take. But in Finland, it's different. Like, there's nothing like all those fika breaks, all those. There's nothing. It's just like, if you're eating lunch, you're eating lunch. If you're eating dinner, you're eating dinner. If you're eating breakfast, you're eating breakfast. There's nothing like Swedish fika. And that was one thing that I missed so much when I went to Finland. I missed the fika thing. I like, if it's Sweden will feed you, feed you, feed you. Yeah, I think that's basically what but if someone will ask me, where do you prefer between Finland and Sweden? Like, just some of my friends have asked me, oh, I don't know. I don't know if. But one thing that I do like about Finland is that the fact that it's opened. It's open to, you could see, like, you go to restaurants to see black person. You compare to Sweden, where it's hard to find people of color, people of like blacks in all these places. But in Finland, you can easily find them, which I find so interesting. Yeah, I think that's basically what I noticed. If you also have your own thing that you've noticed, maybe you've been to Finland and there's something you noticed about it, please put it in comment. Another thing that I also noticed about Finland was, Finland is colder than Sweden. It's very, very colder than Sweden, and it snows more than Sweden. Oh my God, it's a snow town, or it's a snow country. Finland snows more, and I think that Finland is also more foggy than Sweden. There's a lot of fog. It's foggy, like, oh my God. I was like, I spent like 1 week in Finland, and all through those days, it was foggy. Like, it was like deep fog, like you can see now, like I'm showing you in this video. It's so foggy. Like, yeah, yes, it can be foggy in Sweden, but for Finland it's extra. It's extra. Even when we wanted to land, like when we were flying from Sweden to Finland and wanted to land, it was difficult for the pilot, because the visibility was not there. So we had to wait a little bit until it was clear. So it was that one. Because I had to ask one of the Finnish guy that I know. I was like, is it always foggy in Finland? I was like, I've not really noticed. I told him, I said, even my friend that came to Finland told me that when she came, it was foggy. I had 2 people who told me that when they came, it was foggy. So that is enough to clear my doubt that it's foggy. I said, yeah, I haven't noticed that. Maybe I'll start to notice it's okay. So I noticed it was foggy. I think that's basically what I see that was different. Everything about Finland, their houses, clothes, products, everything is like Sweden. Finland is just like Sweden in general. It's the vicinity, their houses, their clothing, their everything is the same. But when it comes to their hair, like, hair is different. For Swedish people have like, most of them have like blonde hair, this blonde hair. But for Finland, they have this brownish, I don't know what they call it, this brownish hair. That's the kind that they have. I think that's kind of the difference that I also noticed. If you've been to Finland and you see that you've been to Finland and you've been to Sweden, what is that thing that you like about Finland? What is that thing that you like about Sweden? Will you pick Finland or will you pick Sweden? Put it in the comment section. Let's discuss. Thank you. This is how I draw the curtain today. I still remain your greatest girl, Bosinola. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.